Table 1 with Jahbril Cook and Kat Connor Sterling. Let's let him in. I'm just waiting for everyone to shuffle in. Alrighty, hello everyone. Welcome to the roundtable with Jahbril Cook and Kat Connor Sterling. Reminder to reporters, just please keep your mics muted unless you're asking a question. And without further ado, Kathy, can you kick us off?
Absolutely. Hi there. I can't say
Hi.
hi, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Absolutely love the movie. And I wanted to know, what is it from, what did you learn from your characters, and what message would you like your audience goers to take away after watching the movie?
Right. So, as far as my character goes, Presley is she's quirky, and she's I guess what people call a little weird, but like honestly, like what even is like normal, I guess. But I love that there's this kind of whole theme with both Presley and I feel like George too, is like, you know what, they're a little quirky and like maybe like a little different, but like they're still so loved and no one's trying to change them. Like there's no point where George is like, I wish Presley would just change a little bit. It was like, no, like she's perfect the way she is, and Presley thinks George is perfect the way he is, with his quirks and his love of Ferris Bueller and everything. And so I wish I, as a young girl, as a young quirky girl, had that character to look up to and be like, wow, like, you know what, like she's kind of like me and she's quirky and maybe a little weird, but like she's cool and like she's loved. And I really hope young girls and young guys can, and not even just young, like at any age, kind of take that away from this movie.
Yeah, no, definitely. I took the words right out of my mouth. I think the only thing I'd add is like it's been a very isolating year, and I think the lesson that all the characters learn in the end is like self-acceptance. Not only do you learn that like everyone else is like very down and supportive of who you are and want to be, but like it's about how you feel about yourself and this journey of like learning to love yourself. And I think that's kind of a journey that we've all collectively been on for the last year. So I think this is a good, now that the pandemic is tailing off to a close, I think that's a good, like, hopefully that's a good tail end to this year of isolation that we've had.
It's perfect. Thank
Our host.
I'm sorry, guys. I think Sean, your host, dropped out by accident. His internet must have dropped. So, Tanae, go ahead. It is your turn. Thank you.
Hi, guys. I just wanted to say I love the movie. Even my 6-year-old watched it with me. He loved it.
Oh.
I just wanted to ask you guys, neither of you are new to this. So what was the most difficult part of stepping into these particular roles for you?
For me, I think, just in general, like, movie musicals, like they're a lot of fun, but they're a lot of work. And you kind of have a lot of things you have to juggle, like acting, singing, dancing, like making sure like the technical aspects, like your camera angles are right. And I just I think that I don't know. Another difficult part of it would probably be dancing for me. Like I'm not like the best dancer in the world, but our choreographer Milena was so helpful with that, and really just made it fun.
Yeah, I think for me, this was my first feature. Definitely not my first musical, but my first like feature film. So I think a difficult thing for me, or at least a lesson that it took me probably like the whole process to learn, was that there's a lot of hurry up and wait in this business. And there was a time at the beginning when I was getting a little like I don't know, like antsy, just like sitting around. Like I'll be called, you know, we'd be called sometimes as early as like 5:30 in the morning. It's a 12-hour day, but then I wouldn't be called to set till like 2 p.m. And so I'm like not knowing like if I'm allowed to like take a nap. But you know, by the end, I learned I could take a nap.
Alrighty. And
Well,
Corella,
thank you
can take the
guys. You
next one.
guys both did amazing.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And Corella, you can take the next one.
Hi. So I just have to tell you, I have 4 kids and we all watched the movie and absolutely loved the movie. I appreciate the
Oh,
message
yay.
and that it was clean and the music and it was spiritual. All my kids commented on that and they're like, we love this movie. And so I just want to say thank you for that. Was there anything you had to learn or that you hadn't done before? I know there's a lot of like sports and paintball and all that kind of stuff in there. Was that new experiences for you guys, or is there anything in there that you had to learn for the movie that you hadn't done before?
I'm trying to think. I mean, a lot of them, like I've been to camp before, and I also like I grew up with a pretty like normal like non-actor childhood, and so I had done like you know, occasional like soccer and stuff. I will say like the flag football, like I had never done that before. Like that's not my area of expertise.
You
And
spiked
so
that
like
ball like a pro.
yeah, because I had people telling me just to throw it. It's like cool. And so they were like, our producers were like, you know, yelling at me like, Kat, you gotta run like you're gonna catch it. Cause like I'd just be running around in circles, having no idea how to make it work. But I guess that's something new I learned, but I really still couldn't tell you the rules of flag football.
Who could, honestly?
We don't know.
Yeah, I think for me it wasn't so much learning a new skill, because like I said, I've been doing musicals for, you know, most of my life. I think it was kind of like taking the skills that I had, or like things that I'd had like limited experience with, and like taking them to the next level. I think like Kat mentioned the choreography. Melina Runis was our choreographer, and she just like whipped us into shape. Like I wouldn't have called myself a dancer before the movie, and now I feel like, especially with Melina's help, I could do anything. I could crush the choreography.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Amanda, you can take the next one.
Hi guys, I'm Amanda from Guide for Moms and Crazy Amanda Reacts on YouTube. And I was just wondering, it looked like y'all were having a blast, like on set, all the teens and party. It looked like it was just a blast. So I wanted to know a little about, you know, how it was on set, maybe, you know, some fun facts about it.
Yeah, I mean, it really was like it truly like was a blast. We filmed at a real camp, like that was like real kids go to that camp, and so it felt like we were at summer camp with all our friends, like the dancers, the crew, the cast. Like it was great. Like except, you know, at the end of the day, we got to go to a hotel and we didn't have to sleep with the bugs, which was, you know, the best part to me. I mean, we really did have a lot of fun. Like one kind of, I guess, behind the scenes memory I have is the boys love to play video games in their trailers. And like me and Bailey, like we would never be, I guess, you know, technically invited to the boys' game nights. And so we'd have an overnight shoot. So finally me and Bailey had enough, and we broke in and forced them to let us play Mario Kart with them. And so I had a good time.
Did you
And
win?
I think they were, no, I did not.
Well, yeah,
I think they were threatened by my skills.
Break-in is a little of a stretch. The door was always unlocked.
Right.
But... Well, and Ian and I were sharing a trailer, and I think, and just for the record, Kevin wasn't invited either. He always made his way, and like, you know, happy to have anybody. Yeah, we played a lot of Super Smash Bros. But then when the girls joined us, they would rather play Mario Kart, which I'm also down for. We played that. Yeah, that was a great time. I think behind the scenes memory for me, I don't know. There was just so many like great little moments in rehearsal, like where we're all together. The one thing that's standing out in my head was there was one like stretch of rehearsal where we had to go to a dance studio to rehearse, because the camp was great, and like we put up mirror panels there, but for some things we just needed like, you know, a proper like wall of mirrors and the space to really like spread out and all that. And yeah, just that time at Millennium Dance Studio was so good. It was like a weekend, and we were there truly all day, and it was just like us like knocking out the dances, like really like nailing them down so that we could be ready to film. And that was like, yeah, I think the common theme here is that I was very impressed with my own dancing. No, and everybody. Melina really brought us to like the next level.
Well, we were too. We all were too. Thanks.
All right, and Rachel, you can take the next one.
Hi, I'm Rachel from Pretty and Baby Food, and I wanted to know what favorite dance routine or song was both of your favorites?
It's hard to choose because like the soundtrack is pretty good. A little biased, but I think the soundtrack is really good. I love, like, honestly from the beginning, I've loved the song Dive. I love that. Of course I love Good Enough. Because just the message of that is just so beautiful, I think. But as far as like one that stuck in my head, it's hard. I have like a million, but the ones that are always stuck in my head are Dive and Best Thing Ever are two that are just constantly playing.
Yeah, I think Dive was definitely my favorite dance number, just because like we were in the water, and just that day of filming, like there were hundreds of people on set, like and we're just like having fun, like playing in the lake, like splashing each other and having a great time. So that was definitely my favorite dance number. Honestly, my favorite scene to film. But yeah, I too am biased, and my favorite song in the film is definitely Baby Baby. Like even if I wasn't
Yes.
singing it, like just the like Prince influence is like enough to make it my favorite song. And that was the thing that early on that Roman and I and the whole team were we like kind of made that connection really early on, reading the script, and we're like, yeah, and we ran with it. We really leaned into the Prince influence, and I had a blast.
Awesome. Thank you. You guys nailed everything. It was all wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Carolina, you can take the next one.
Hello, we love the movie. I'm Carolina from What C Says. My question is, I know we had mentioned like all the sports and paintballing and stuff, and that scene was like super incredible. How much of that scene were you guys actually a part of, or was it like a stunt double or anything like that?
So we did, I think so for dodgeball, I did have someone else take the actual hit for me. But then like you see a close up of my face, and that's actually a fun fact, that's a leaf blower blowing on my face to make it move, to make it look like the ball's there. And I believe they digitally put in that ball close up, which I thought was really cool. But like having that leaf blower in my face, like it was there for like a solid 5-10 minutes of them just getting takes of me constantly doing this. So there's that. And then for the paintball scene, I felt so bad. I did have a stunt double who, when Presley saving George, kind of how he saved her, she took that hit. She really did take a paintball hit, and so she had like bruises on her back from it. And I felt so bad, but she did her job well.
Yeah, the paintball scene was definitely like outside of our pay grade, purview. I don't know, like most of the
Skill.
most of it. Yeah, all of the above, honestly. The stunt doubles really like took over for us, and gratefully so. I'm very grateful for it. Like that was one of those days where hurry up and wait was like prevalent, because I was just hanging around playing video games while my stunt double got shot at. So I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
bless you, Jonathan Mercedes. He's a real one.
That's awesome. It looked awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Christina, you can take the next one.
Hi, I'm Christina with thepatricios.com. And what made you want to be a part of this film?
I think for me, I grew up watching High School Musical and Camp Rock. I'm a big movie musical fan, and like that was such a huge part of my childhood. And so like I saw that like there's a new movie musical coming out. It's from the same Adam Watts who like did the music for Camp Rock and Hannah Montana and High School Musical. I was like, I've got to be a part of it. And so then I saw there was a role for a girl named Presley, and it was like I think in her character description it was something like she loves pugs and like she's giggly and in love with George. And I was like, you know what? I think I might could pull this off. And so I guess I did. And here we are.
Yeah, that you did. Yeah, I also saw a lot of similarities in myself and George. I mean, aside from the fact that it's a movie musical, I'm like, who doesn't love movie musicals? I also grew up in a musical theater background, and so it felt very like appropriate that my first feature could potentially be a musical. So I was like very, very into that. I always feel at home like singing in a project. And yeah, and then on top of that, like the character of George like was George and I are kindred spirits for sure. Like his love of like 80s movies, I'm right there with him. And I think and during the once I found out that I booked, I had this whole like 80s movie watch list that I had seen the John Hughes movies, but you know, I needed a refresher just so I could hang with George.
All right, everyone. That is
Thank
all the
you.
time we have. Thank you so much to all the journalists there. And yeah, have a great day, guys. Let's cut.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.